Today I'm going to take you through what I eat in a day in a calorie deficit. It's probably not what you think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Just keep watching. It's Lunch with Lisa. Hi, my name is Lisa and welcome to Lunch with Lisa, where I make quick and easy healthy meals. And today I'm going to show you exactly what I've been eating every day in my calorie deficit for the last 2 weeks. So life got kind of crazy this summer. I did take a short break, and then I took an unexpected break, and everything kind of went crazy for a little while. Dallas had this huge storm roll through, and I was definitely in it. It was 5 a.m., and everything just started shaking. So I woke my son up and had him run to the closet with me so that we could hunker down for whatever winds, tornado, I didn't know what it was, but I wasn't even waiting for an alert or anything. I was like, we gotta take cover now. Even my cat started meowing at the door to be let into the closet with us. Normally she just runs and hides somewhere in the house or whatever, but she wanted to be with us. So that's how scary the storm was. It was, I think, almost 90-mile-per-hour winds. So we lost a lot of tree limbs. Luckily, I had my trees trimmed last year, so I didn't have any major damage. The house next door to me had a tree fall on the roof. Everybody lost power. For like 5 days, my house was without power. So I ended up having to throw away everything in my fridge. I took out the essentials that I could still eat and put them on ice. I had to run to the store when they had ice. Basically just ended up throwing everything else out. All those ice cream sandwiches I just made, gone. Everything in the freezer was pretty much toast, except for I did end up saving all my butcher box meat. I was able to store that at my brother's house briefly. And then I went through my cupboards and got rid of stuff that I'm just like, you know what, Lisa, you don't need to have this in here anymore. It was really freeing to throw away all that food and just kind of start over. Let me tell you, if you haven't cleaned out your fridge, and I mean really cleaned it out, like where you take shelves out and wipe down all the crumbs, there's a lot of gross stuff in there. And the freezer, I haven't been able to ever clean my freezer, but now I know how to take off the door so that I can get it into all the little nooks and crannies. So I'm definitely gonna keep my freezer more clean. Oh, so bad. Like I packed so much stuff in there that I'm never gonna eat. I mean, I had like frozen fruit in there too that I would have eaten, but anyways, it was nice to kind of just clear it out, start fresh. Found a lot of expired condiments in my fridge too. And then I went on a camping trip for a week. I went and hiked in the Gila National Forest. It was really beautiful, the West Fork Trail. We just hiked in about 8 miles the first day, made camp, and then hiked back out because we were gonna stay 3 days, but we had some car issues. Anyways, it was a beautiful trip, and it was like really testing my ability to like have some endurance with a big backpack on and like walking, and it was really hot. It was a lot of fun. A lot of river crossings, a lot of wet feet, a lot of poison ivy, but it did wear me out. So when I came back, I was pretty exhausted still. And then I started a new job. I'm training now to be a personal trainer. It's going well so far, but it's different. I'm used to being a school teacher, so that's been fun. I recently got monetized during my break on YouTube, so as you notice, like, you're seeing more commercials, more advertisements, but that's because just watching those helps me out a ton, so I'm really excited about that. Super stoked. So this is what I've been eating in my calorie deficit. So I start my day off every day with some coffee. Normally in the winter time, I'll drink it hot and I'll put my milk in a frother and I'll have a big mug of coffee with hot milk, hot frothy milk. And then I throw in a little bit of stevia sweetener, a few drops. Sometimes I'll add vanilla, sometimes I'll add some cinnamon, but then I'll also add some creatine. So in the summertime, I don't want to have hot coffee because it's way too freaking hot. So I've been drinking iced coffee, and all I do is just take some instant coffee and dissolve it in just room temp water from my beautiful water filter, and I forget what it's called, Phoenix. And I'll have the link down below for the water filter if you would like. And then I put my creatine and my sweetener, give it a good shake or mix. Then I add in some ice and then my milk, which I measure out, 240 milliliters. I usually use 1% or 0% milk just so I can free those calories up. So it's just like 180 to 100 calories in the morning for my coffee. For breakfast, I usually eat breakfast after my workout because I don't like working out on a full stomach. For breakfast lately, I've been eating eggs with egg whites, just make a big scramble. And then I was eating fruit, or I switched. So I was either eating berries, which have a lot of fiber, like raspberries, blueberries, strawberries. Raspberries have a ton of fiber. But I switched to bagels. So I get the whole wheat bagels, or I found these light multigrain English muffins. They're a third less calories than the regular English muffins, but I think that's because they hike up the fiber a little bit. It's got 8 grams of fiber per muffin. And I usually spread these with some fruit spread. And I cook with very minimal oil. I don't put butter on anything because I'm in a calorie deficit. Now, once I get out of my calorie deficit, I'm gonna slather on some butter on those English muffins. And I'm gonna probably put some like potatoes with this or something just to kind of bulk it up a little bit. Then for lunch, I've really been enjoying eating these carb balance wraps. They're really high in fiber, so it gives my fiber count a boost. And then an apple. But my protein for this is either some lunch meat, and I have this really cool grocery store that has like a deli. And then off to the side, they have a clearance section where they put all the stuff that they've cooked and needs to be sold quickly off in this little section that I found, and everything is 50% off. So I get all my lunch meat from there, and I usually eat it within a week, so it stays pretty good. Sometimes they'll have some deli cheese, and a lot of times they'll have like prepared foods that I'll buy for my son. But I've been getting my lunch meat for half off, and it's been saving me a lot of money. So go look for like a clearance section in your grocery store and buy some of the deli lunch meat for half off. Such a great hack for saving some money. Go look in your clearance sections at your grocery stores. There's probably multiple around the store. So I'll just squirt some spicy mustard onto my wrap and then put down a sliced cheese and measure out around 85 to 100 grams of deli meat. Then I'll get a couple big leaves of lettuce, and that's my wrap. Just roll it up. You can put any kind of meat in there as long as it's around 85 to 100 grams. It's a good amount of protein, depending on your size, of course, and how much protein you need. And then I like to get a nice juicy Fuji apple or Honeycrisp, something that's crisp and light, but like, delicious. I like to cut the apple into thin slices because it makes me chew a lot more. So the chewing action helps me feel a lot fuller, and it slows me down in my eating too, eating those small slices. So good little trick, little hack. Cut things into smaller pieces so it takes you a little bit longer to eat them. So that's my lunch. For my snack between lunch and dinner, because I always need a snack, it's like way too long for me to wait from 12 to 6. I like to eat like every 3 or 4 hours. Somewhere between lunch and dinner, I'm having yogurt. Oikos or a Greek yogurt with no fat, so fat-free, plain, or the Oikos vanilla, so good. I usually mix like 100 grams of each together. So I have about 200 grams of yogurt, and then I have about 100 grams of berries. So it could be strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, any kind of fruit that you love. I mean, mangoes could even work here, any kind of fruit, something delicious. And then I put on some granola, like 10 to 20 grams of granola. And it's such a good, like delicious snack. It's got a little crunch in it. Takes a little bit to chew up all those berries. Yogurt's delicious. It's good for your gut. Some protein in there. And I even made it for my son, and he was like, this is really good. And I'm like, I know, that's why I eat it. So that tides me over until dinner time. And lately for dinner, I found these really tiny, and I'm talking tiny, these really tiny Mission tortillas. They have 0 net carbs, and so they can lie on the packaging and say it's only 25 calories. Because of the fiber content, they're able to take out those calories because they say you're not processing them, it's just gonna go through, which I totally understand, but it's lies because there's 7 grams of carbs in here. So it ends up being around 50 to 58 calories per tortilla. So I go ahead and count it towards my calorie count. So I usually have like 3 of those, and I've been putting chicken or whatever meat I have cooked. Last week I bought a bunch of chicken breasts and chicken thighs, and I grilled them all, and then I have them all in my fridge just waiting to be chopped up and measured. So I measure out about 85 to 100 grams of chicken, throw that on there, and then I top it with some vegetables. So I didn't have any cabbage or lettuce or anything on hand at one point, so I was using what I had, which was cucumbers and carrots and some onion. And that was delicious with some lime juice and a little bit of salsa. After I went to the grocery store again, I decided to buy some cabbage, shredded some cabbage with some jalapenos that I've sliced up cilantro, squeeze of lime juice, some salsa. Went to this restaurant out in Pecos, Texas, and they had the best tomatillo salsa I've ever had. It was really sweet. I need to figure out how to make that and share that with you soon too. Keep a lookout for that. But this little taco thing, man, you can put whatever veggies on there with a little bit of meat. And then you have those little like street taco type things. Very filling. And then I like to have a little dessert at the end of the day. So at the end of my day, I come up to around 1,500 calories, give or take. Sometimes over, sometimes under. At least 120 to 130 grams of protein. And then all these things you can just, mix and match and add more, add less, depending on what your goals are. I'm so kind of boring right now that I really love this food, and I'm able to kind of tweak it and get a little bit new flavors every day. And the more I eat it, the more I love it. So I haven't really been wanting to change it. I've just been kind of keeping it steady, and that gives me like no-brainers. Like I don't have to think about what I'm buying at the store. I just know that when I run out of something, I write it down. Then I can go get it when I go back to the store or when I run out. And then it just makes my day easier because I know exactly when we eat, when I'm gonna eat it. I know how to make it ahead of time really fast. And also I have my son's meals planned, so I'm making stuff for him. So I went from, wanting something that was no-brainer and trying to overthink it and try to like make all this stuff to like really simplifying it down so that when I'm in a calorie deficit or even when I'm not, I'm pretty much eating about the same thing every day. Now, some things I want to add to my diet. Sweet potato has a lot of vitamin A, so I know I'm probably missing that. Next week, I'll probably try to figure out how to incorporate a little bit of sweet potato. And so I'm just gonna start my day off by putting the sweet potato in and then building all my meals around it. So at least I get that in there. And then I'll figure out how it fits and if I wanna continue, because I do wanna continue. It's good. It's good for you. Good for your eyes, right? Which I need all the help with right now. All right, so that was a day in the life of my deficit right now. Let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video and if you want me to make more, and I can come up with different days because I know I'm gonna get sick of this food eventually. I did have a different day that I was repeating before this that I got sick of. I might get sick of this one too. I don't know. I get to eat tortillas in this one, like a lot of them, and they're delicious. And English muffins or bagels. So these are all foods that I love, foods that I like to eat. You can swap out foods that you love and, try to match the macros, but really focusing on getting enough protein, getting enough fiber, and getting enough good food that you love. Like I love fruit, but also breads, stuff that you really like to eat if you're not like allergic or not having like any issues with it. Try to incorporate that somehow because it just makes life so much bearable when you enjoy the foods that you're eating. Even in a calorie deficit, you don't have to suffer. So that's what I love about macro tracking, because it's just flexible dieting. I mean, I even eat ice cream sometimes. I got this Nick's ice cream. It's so soft, so delicious. It's got a lot of fiber in it too. So I've been eating that, and just if I know I want to eat some ice cream that day, I'll put it in. And if I go a little over my calories, I'm still in a deficit. I'm still gonna lose some fat. And I'm not really worried about how much this round. If you like these recipes, I'm sure you're gonna love this one too. Let me know if you wanna see more videos like this by hitting the like button, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. It's Lunch with Lisa.